You're going to watch clear through this one because we've got a lot of strategies for how to not let people take advantage of you. We got a whole other video for what to do with the folks who are taking advantage of you. Stay tuned for that as well. I think the first part of this question has to do with fortifying yourself, because some of the other steps are going to make a whole lot more sense if you're in a strong place. So let's talk for just a moment about how to strengthen and fortify your own confidence. We've got other videos here on the channel, especially in the Positive Personal Development playlist, that will speak specifically to how to increase confidence and have yourself in a position where you can practice assertiveness and setting up appropriate boundaries and all of the things that are required to make sure that other people are not taking advantage of you. Your personal strength will serve you well in so many ways. Realize that you've got this. From a psychological standpoint, we take a position. Just notice that you do this. You take a position about who you are and what you're capable of. Oh, I don't think I can do that, right? That's a position, that's an attitude, it's an opinion, and it's not even necessarily true. In fact, most of the time it's not. You can handle it. And the things that we fear sometimes are really not that great. I've got a shelf over here where I keep little monsters. Check this out. So these are just the little characters from the Disney Pixar Monsters, Inc. And I got a whole shelf full of them. I keep monsters around for a couple of reasons. Number one, sometimes I get little people here in the office and they love to play with this stuff. But the other reason is that even the big people who come to my office have monsters in their life, right? These things that seem so scary. The thing I love about my monsters is that they're this big. They're tiny. They're just little. Yeah, they're monsters, but how big are they really? And I bring that up because the things that get us so stuck in our own mind sometimes seem huge, seem scary, seem like monsters when really they're this big. Put that in perspective. You can handle this. So step one in setting yourself up so that people don't take advantage of you is to build your self-confidence. Do whatever is necessary to make that happen. Now I got 5 tips for you, so let's jump to number 2. Set budgets and boundaries. Usually I just say boundaries, but I added the word budgets too because of an experience that I had recently. This was a family experience where some folks in the extended family were having a hard time paying for something. And have you ever been in this position where someone just kind of looks at you like, oh, will you pay for it? Yeah, that's one way that people could take advantage of you. I said budgets because you might want to put yourself in a position where you can help. You can pay for this or you can pay for that. And by pay for, let's keep in mind there's different ways to pay for things. It might be through your time and effort, but it might be through money too. So a budget is your way of putting a limit around how much you're willing to pay, either in money or time and effort or whatever resources that you have. Some limit, so that when you're approaching that limit, you can always go back to that and say, oh, I would really love to help. I don't have the budget for that. See? Now, I know that there's reasons why that could be hard to do. But just keep in mind, you've got to have a budget, you've got to have a boundary. What are the limits to which I'm willing to go? You set those ahead of time, and then you can use the budget or the boundary as the reason you give for not letting them take advantage of you. That becomes the fallback or the bad guy if you want to have one. So step number 2 is set budgets and boundaries. Number 3, get to yes with conditions. Now you really want to say yes, right? When someone needs some help or they come to you or have a request, but you don't want to be taken advantage of. So one way to do that is to create an opportunity for yes that puts some of the responsibility back on the person who's making the request. A great example has to do with teenagers who are constantly taking advantage of their parents, right? So just think of your teenager for just a minute. Your teenager comes to you and says, hey, can I have this or that? Get to yes with conditions. So, well, yes, my sweet teenage daughter, you may have a new car as soon as you can show me how you'll keep the payments current. Okay, something like that. Another way that you can phrase this is, I really want to say yes to your request. In order for that to happen, and then you lay out the conditions. This would need to happen first, or I would need to be able to see that that is true before I can actually say yes. So get to yes with conditions. That leads us right into number 4. Say no when no is really what you mean. You can do this in a nice way. A lot of my clients are hesitant to say no because they feel like, oh, that wouldn't be nice, or that would be mean, or that would disappoint people. Yeah, probably. Let's not worry too much about that. If you mean no, you got to say no, because nobody is going to say it for you. And you do it in a nice, diplomatic, compassionate way. One way to lead when you're saying no is to use appreciation or gratitude. Thank you. Thank you so much for thinking of me or for considering me. I won't be able to attend. Or simply, I won't be attending. Or I won't be providing that this time. And you say it with a smile, okay? Because you're nice. Nice and getting run over are not the same thing. It's okay for you to say no. And that word is going to save you a whole lot of headache. Another way to say no, that sounds like a really great project. It doesn't work for me to participate right now. You hear that? It doesn't work for me is a good way to say no. Here's another thing to remember. You don't owe them an explanation for why you're saying no. You don't owe that to them. So you don't have to convince them that that's the best answer. You don't have to make them feel good about your no. You just need to say no when no is what you really mean. Okay, I promised you 5. Here's number 5. Don't be an opportunity stealer. Now, what do I mean by that? The challenges that we face in our life create for us opportunities to learn things, to grow, to develop, to stretch, to innovate. When people take advantage of us, it's usually because of their problem, right? Yeah, that's almost universally true. If you jump in and rescue them from their problem through their taking advantage of you, you have actually stolen from them an opportunity to have their learning experience. You don't have to say anything about this to them. This is all going on in your own mind, in your own perception, in your own attitude about what it is that you're doing. Keep in mind they need this problem to help them grow and develop. If you take that position, you're going to be less likely to jump in and rescue them or to steal that opportunity from them that they probably need in the first place. One thing I love about our Live on Purpose TV audience is that you guys are brilliant. Share your ideas about how to handle this topic down below and let's get some conversations going.